Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's head outside and take a look outside our weather window from this afternoon as we head up to Lake Chelan. And boy, that sky just had a cold look about it today, didn't it? With the clouds hanging low and a little bit of fog in some places. We had some sunshine in other places, but it was chilly out there today. The good news is we are going to warm up. We're also going to get wetter as we move into the upcoming weekend. We're not going to warm up so much on Saturday, but boy, Sunday into the around 35 to 45 degree range, 40s to lower 50s on both Monday and Tuesday. And heck, we might even see mid 50s in some locations by Tuesday, but a good chance for rain mixed with snow throughout that forecast period. And we're going to talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. COVID-19 hospitalizations at Central Washington Hospital have fallen to their lowest level since the early days of the pandemic. Starting Tuesday, you won't need proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test to enter large outdoor events in Washington. And the Chelan-Douglas Health District has made several changes to its COVID-19 testing and vaccination efforts while announcing Thursday that sites for both will shut down completely on March 11th. But first, our top story tonight. East Wenatchee police say a man broke into a bank branch on Valley Mall Parkway early yesterday. However, no bank funds were ever at risk because shortly after that, the suspect passed out on a couch in the lobby. An alarm summoned police to the Washington Trust building about 2:38 a.m., where they found the 32-year-old man inside. He had apparently used a rock to shatter the glass of the front doors and enter the lobby. Multiple police agencies responded to the scene, only to find the man heavily intoxicated. They said after raising his hands to surrender, he fell asleep and began snoring loudly. He faces possible charges of second-degree burglary. COVID-19 hospitalizations at Central Washington Hospital have fallen to their lowest level since the early days of the pandemic. Confluence Health reported that as of today, there are 10 people hospitalized with COVID-19, with only one of those patients being treated in the hospital's intensive care unit. The number of COVID-19 patients at the hospital was at 37 as recently as February 1st and peaked for several days at more than 50 hospitalized COVID-19 patients last fall. Well, it's official. Starting Tuesday, you won't need proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test to enter large outdoor events in Washington. Governor Jay Inslee announced the change in policy 1 week ago, but today he updated his emergency pandemic proclamation to reflect it. Another revision lifts certain restrictions on visiting residents in long-term care facilities. Masks and other measures are still required for both those visits, but limits on frequency and length of visits, as well as the number of visitors, are removed effective March 1st. The Chelan-Douglas Health District has made several changes to its COVID-19 testing and vaccination efforts while announcing yesterday that sites for both will shut down completely on March 11th. Beginning next week, drive-through vaccinations will be moved to the Town Toyota Center and be offered on Fridays only. Also next week, the testing site at the Town Toyota Center will no longer be open on Saturdays. Until March 11th, testing will be offered Monday through Friday from 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The testing and vaccinations are free to the public. The Pfizer vaccine and booster are available for ages 5 and up. Well, when we come back, the state is trying to avoid another mess of illegally parked vehicles at Stevens Pass Ski Resort by advising visitors that any vehicles parked along Highway 2 will be towed. Wenatchee Valley College has defined the parameters of its new search for a new president. And Washington's elected Congress members have lined up to condemn the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think he's had AIDS. Is there something the matter with him?
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious?
No, he's not.
Okay, take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper. I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
Welcome back. In another news, the state is trying to avoid another mess of illegally parked vehicles at Stevens Pass Ski Resort by advising visitors that any vehicles parked along Highway 2 will be towed. The Washington State Patrol said that at one point last Saturday, there were about 100 vehicles parked illegally near the summit of the pass. The State Patrol ordered tows for removal, but most of the vehicles had been moved by the time trucks arrived. But several that remained were towed to Leavenworth at the owner's expense. The State Patrol advises anyone planning a trip to the ski resort to arrive early after first checking the pass's social media sites for parking availability in the resort's lots. Wenatchee Valley College has defined parameters of its search for a new president. Trustees voted at their February meeting to pursue an external search to replace longtime President Jim Richardson using an outside consulting firm. Richardson will retire this June after 17 years leading Wenatchee Valley College. After listening sessions with employees on the Wenatchee and Omak campuses, trustees said their search will aim for a candidate who can meet the unique needs of Wenatchee Valley College's large service district and diverse student body. Washington's elected Congress members have lined up to condemn the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine. Russian military action against the Eastern European country on its borders began this week. In a statement, 4th District Congressional Representative Dan Newhouse said, quote, "This is in direct conflict with internal agreements and must be met with severe and punishing sanctions. Vladimir Putin and his regime have continued to prove they are little more than criminal thugs," unquote. Representative Kim Schreier of the 8th District said, quote, "This unprovoked invasion of Ukraine is heartbreaking and a breach of global peace and stability. There will be consequences for Russia's actions." Senators Patty Murray and Maria Cantwell both spoke out against the invasion, with Murray saying, quote, "This conflict is totally fabricated, but its human toll will be very real. Swift measures must be taken to inflict severe and devastating sanctions," unquote. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Please stay with us.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellingson here from Live It Up. Join us every week as we answer your questions on health, wealth, and relationships.
We're all about you creating a life that you love, so tune in to Live It Up.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCW Life channel.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. Luke Davies took over leadership of the Chelan-Douglas Health District in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis. In tonight's feature story, after a year on the job, Davies, who's a Wenatchee Valley native, tells NCW Life's Dan Kuntz that the agency's situation posed a real challenge, but also a real opportunity.
Yeah, it's been a long year. When I took this position, I was coming from the global health field, coming from, conducting a violence against children survey in Namibia, working in that global health sphere, with my experiences in disaster management in Haiti. And so this has been a different animal. Working locally, it's been nice to be able to come home, be able to work in my home community where I grew up, and be able to have a chance to make changes here and to bring resources into a system that has been severely under-resourced for a long time at the federal level and the state level. And so, but it's been long. The first 2 months I was here, I was putting in between 16 to 20-hour days for a long period of time. And when I look back at, the amount of turnover that Chelan-Douglas Health District has had, the number of teams that we've brought through to help, the support that we got from Department of Health with Nate Weed coming in as interim, and also Aging and Adult Care from Bruce Buckles. There was just a lot of chaos. And it makes it really challenging to respond to a crisis when the organization itself is in a lot of chaos. And so, a lot of the different things that I've learned in this process about how we do work locally, it has been a very incredible way to learn our local systems. A lot of times when you enter a new position that's stable and has been the same for a long time, it's hard to make change. When there's a lot of chaos, it's easier to make change and transform things. So we've been able to do some things around equity, making sure that we're getting our messages out in English and Spanish. We've been able to resource our staff appropriately for COVID response in some of these different areas. But we also had a lot of challenges. 100% turnover in administration, 100% turnover in finance, a lot of turnover within our organization. And so being able to manage that at the same time as managing a pandemic has been a real challenge.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Friday. Boy, it was a chilly week. There's no doubt about that. And as you look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera up on the Wenatchee Heights, it just looks cold, doesn't it? And it felt like it out there today. And boy, when that little breeze came up, it was chilly out there. The good news, there's relief, and it's only a couple of days away. As we get into the weekend, we're still going to see some fairly chilly temperatures. Temperatures for us mainly into the lower 30s, maybe lower 40s for parts of the Columbia Basin. For Sunday then into Monday, it is going to be a wet period. At least a 50% chance of rain Sunday and 80% chance Monday. But look at the highs, mid-40s Sunday and maybe into the lower 50s by the time we get into Monday. We'll talk much more about that in a second, but let's go back to today for a second. Very cold. Didn't have to tell you that. We were almost 20 degrees now below where we should be for this time of year. 28 our unofficial high temperature. 46 is where we should be. 62 our record. That was set in 1995. Our low this morning, it was a chilly one too at 14 degrees. 29 is now our normal low temperature. Boy, it's warming up nicely, isn't it? 6 is our record low, and that was in 1993. Picked up that dab of moisture yesterday. We're at an inch and a quarter now since January 1st. 44 inches of snowfall, but boy, mountain snowpack only at about 80% right now, but looks like more snow on the way this weekend. 6:48 for sunrise, and the sun will set at 5:40. Taking a look now at our next few days. Let's first start with tomorrow, get you into the weekend. Temperatures tomorrow, as I mentioned, not much better than today. A little bit warmer, especially over in the Columbia Basin. There is warming from the east. Spokane will be about 40 degrees, 38 Moses Lake, 37 in Ephrata, and you can see how it cools down as we move west. Wenatchee about 33 tomorrow, 31 in Leavenworth, 25 in Lake Wenatchee, and 32 the freezing mark for you folks in Lake Chelan. Taking a look now at our surface loop beginning with tonight. Increasing clouds, large area of low pressure. It's pushing this cold high that's been in place. That's what's been bringing the cold air all the way to the south. But this will push that away, move some clouds our way as we get into tomorrow. We'll see a 30% chance of rain showers mixed with snow. I think it'll be all snow tomorrow. Not so much early, but here we go, about 10 or 11 at night. That's when we could see some snow on Saturday. For Sunday then, this thing kicks into gear and moves inland a little bit. Notice the flow from the southwest. That means a warmer southwesterly airflow, but it also means wet. And we will see a 50% chance of rain mixed with snow with highs about 40 on Sunday. For Monday, cloudy skies. Look at this heavy precipitation. That's right around the Portland area. We're going to see highs on Monday into the low 40s with an 80% chance for rain mixed with snow. It looks like a brief respite from the wet weather. Our first day of March on Tuesday, partly cloudy, warmer, high temperatures, yes, into the upper 40s, even lower 50s as we get into Tuesday afternoon. And then, yeah, back to the wet stuff on Tuesday. The low parks itself right over Oregon, and that's going to bring some wraparound moisture into our area. A 60% chance of rain Wednesday with high temperatures then in the mid-40s. The end of our forecast now. Mostly cloudy skies for Thursday. 30% chance of rain, kind of hit and miss showers for Thursday. Most of the activity will be in western Washington, and we're going to stay pretty seasonal as far as temperatures go in the mid to upper 40s. 7-day forecast now. Overnight low tonight. Our last really chilly night, overnight low, 18 degrees, 33 tomorrow. Remember, we could see some snow developing. It will be in our late evening hours for Saturday. And then the nice warm up begins, though a 50% chance of rain and snow Sunday. 80% on Monday, 41 your high Monday. Tuesday, March 1st, looks to be the nicest day of our forecast, partly cloudy and 48, and then back to more rain showers on Wednesday and Thursday with high temperatures then in the mid to upper 40s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Different birds enjoy different types of foods, so it's important to offer all the right things for the birds you want to attract. Sound complicated? It doesn't have to be. Our Flying Start Combo is an all-in-one feeder that attracts all the birds in your backyard, with seed, suet, nuts, and fruit. Stop by our store to find out how you can get started feeding the birds. Wild Birds Unlimited. We bring people and nature together.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Stay active and independent for life. SAIL is an evidence-based strength, balance, and fitness program. The exercises in a SAIL class have been packaged into a formal regimen focusing on 4 key areas important to the health and fitness of mature participants: low-impact cardiovascular, balance work, strength training, and stretching. SAIL classes are designed for people of all fitness levels and can be done sitting or standing. Join us for SAIL on the NCWLIFE channel. Check your listing for days and times.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Friday to you. Seattle came close, but not quite enough last night, falling to the Boston Bruins in overtime by a score of 3-2 at Climate Pledge Arena. Seattle got on the board first on a shorthanded goal by Mark Giordano, but the Bruins shut the door in the extra session.
One of 2 goals for Seattle here against the New York Islanders. Now Giordano right in. He scores! How about that? Nice move. Holla holding onto it. It's out in front. It's batted around and in. Jake DeBrusk. Grizzlick this way. McAvoy all the way across. A one-timer. Banged home by David Pasternak. And with Eberle and Giordano 3-on-1. Eberle right in. He scores! Gains entry. Goes wide. Shot taken. He scores. He leaks it through. Jake DeBrusk with his second goal tonight. Boston wins it in overtime.
Yeah, they did. Seattle's off until Sunday when it travels to San Jose to take on the Sharks. Wenatchee Wild headed north for the border yesterday. They will start tonight in a 3-game, 3-weekend series against Cranbrook. Does that make sense? Sure it does. Puck drops at 7 o'clock tonight and tomorrow, and Sunday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Trail. Sean Ziers actually on the road with the team and will call the games locally on KPQ. Now, we had a chance to get out and talk with Ziers and the one and only Arch Ecker before the team headed out yesterday. Ecker talks about his near-death experience from a car crash and his recovery. It's great footage. Go to our website, ncwlife.com. Click on full episodes. Go to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Watch the whole thing. It's 20-some-odd minutes long. You will not be dismayed, especially if you're an Arch Ecker fan or a Wenatchee Wild fan. By the way, Arch's message to Wild fans is to come out to the 7 home games remaining on the schedule.
Effective March 1st, Vax card mandates are lifted. It's no longer required to come into the game. Just come on in and join a couple thousand other Wild hockey fans, make a lot of noise and go crazy and support this team, because the team, through it all, continues to do good work in the community. They continue to help with youth hockey players. They continue to help with local schools, elementary schools, and they deserve the support. So come on out and let's go wild.
Yeah, that's a good message. By the way, the first of those 7 home games is Wednesday at the Town Toyota Center. Men's college basketball last night. Well, we've got a couple of scores for you. Eastern Washington beat Northern Colorado 85-76, and top-ranked Gonzaga took care of San Francisco 89-73 the final there. On the women's side, Haley Van Lith scored 13 to lead 4th-ranked Louisville over Pittsburgh 66-55. Eastern beat Northern Colorado by 6. 62-56. Gonzaga peppered Pepperdine 85-41. Washington edged Cal by 1, and Washington State fell to second-ranked Stanford, but a pretty good fight, 61-54 the final. Now, coming up on the schedule for the weekend tomorrow, Washington plays at Stanford while Washington State visits Cal. Eastern is home against Sacramento State. On Sunday, Louisville faces 14th-ranked Notre Dame. That's at 9 o'clock in the morning on national TV on ESPN2 if you want to cheer on Haley Van Lith on that one. Men's basketball Saturday, Washington State visits UW. That'll be at 3 o'clock on the Pac-12 network. Eastern's at Sacramento State. And by the way, that game on ESPN Plus, if you have the subscription. Number 1 Gonzaga takes on number 23 St. Mary's. That'll be 7 o'clock on ESPN on the weekend. High school basketball enters the regional playoffs this weekend here in Washington. In fact, one game's already underway. We'll talk about Eastmont coming up in a moment. First, on the girls' side, Cashmere faces Freeman in a game tonight at 8 o'clock. That's at Wenatchee High School, while Waterville-Mansfield takes on Muckleshoot Tribal. That's at the same time over at Eastmont High School. Moses Lake girls are in Tumwater tomorrow to face Olympia at noon. Okanagan takes on Raymond at 2 at Wenatchee High School. Now, I was talking about the Eastmont boys. They are underway right now already against Federal Way in Auburn. You want to go to the NFHSnetwork.com. If you want to pick up that one, you probably have to pay a little subscription for that. Tomorrow, Quincy faces Kings at Jackson High School at noon, and the same time, Brewster boys take on Morton White Pass at Wenatchee High School. Lake Roosevelt has a 2 o'clock game at Eastmont against Riverview. Now, speaking of the regional basketball, for the boys and girls games that are playing tonight and tomorrow at Wenatchee High School, Eastmont High School, you got to go to a website to get tickets. You can't buy them in person. So I posted those links earlier on our Facebook page. So go there, find those, go to the games, cheer them on, and we'll talk about them on Monday. Have a great weekend. Be safe and sane. Don't forget, Rails and Ales happening downtown Wenatchee tonight. That's a lot of fun. And I think this guy might be there. So you might say hi to Grant while you're there. That's Sports News. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
That I will. Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with our buddy Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Join me on Monday, the last day in February. And we're going to be visiting with the Chelan-Douglas Volunteer Attorney Services. They're good folks. A lot of the top flight lawyers in town donate their time for people who need legal help but can't afford it. We'll talk to those good folks. Plus, we'll have your weather forecast. We'll wrap up the weekend that happened in news and sports. Get your next week and wrap up this month with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're going to see you live and local, I hope, Monday morning at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great final weekend of February.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.